let me just open it up. Let's take three of you guys. What's new, fresh, exciting, and happening in your particular team? Over to you guys. No order, open format.
Just lots of excitement, man. The people in the group are extremely excited about the launch of the shopping ability, which is coming as we've had some vendors onboarded, and that whole side is really building up the excitement. And then as far as even the affiliates, we've had obviously a lot of upgrades going on, but now people are realizing, hey, I can be a part of this from an affiliate standpoint and just participate, not have to build myself a team, don't have to outlay a whole ton of money to get started right away from their perspective. And you can feel the energy in the air around that one too, being able to be an affiliate and promote the great products and services and technologies and e-learning that we've got here. And overall, it's just a very exciting time to be a pioneer with Shoplink.
Vendors, that's the exciting thing happening now. I've been talking to vendors and they are loving it. They are, it's inevitable that they compare it with other platforms, but when they understand what we got for them, they just go crazy. It's just amazing how this model is impressing these vendors and they really want to join. So this is what I got to share today.
Thank you, buddy. One more.
I'll go. I think overall, I mean, obviously extremely exciting, amazing times. I think everyone's in anticipation. I think because their vision is so big on where it is we're going to go. I think everyone's kind of like horses at the stable, which is wonderful. And that's exactly where you guys should be. At the same time, when you're tackling something so huge, you got to just like, sit back in the moment and think about, wow, look where we're going. But more importantly, think about what this thing's going to look like 5-10 years from now. When you can look back on this Zoom and go, man, I was at the very beginning when this thing, before it even took off, before we were just getting ready to launch certain things, before we opened the doors to do this, before we did that. And some people, you'll get anxious about those kind of things. I get excited about it because I know what's getting ready to come. So obviously everyone's jacked and ready to roll.
Thank you, Mike. It's a good transition. I mean, guys, a year ago, this was barely an idea, and it was barely one man's idea, and he was taking that idea and sharing it with, one or two or three other people. That this idea didn't have a name. Then it had a name, and that name changed. I was introduced to this idea 9 months ago, and it was still just an idea with a couple sentences and a name that was to be changed. A couple months after that, we got in a room and said, okay, let's do this. Let's go all in. Let's race to build this thing out. That was probably maybe May. That might have been May. That was May. And from May, that turned into us getting together in the 1st of July timeframe. So think about this. By the 1st of July, which is 80 days ago, nobody had heard of this idea. 80 days ago, it was just an idea in a room of 10 people. That idea still had to be created, still had to be built, still had to be executed. It needed a logo. It needed taglines. It needed missions and values that Ron has put together. It needed videos. It needed explanation. It needed a comp plan. We didn't even have a comp plan, right? Well, I guess in July we had a comp plan. On July 1st we had a comp plan. We did have a logo. I apologize. I was confusing May and July. But from July 1st, we had nothing but a logo and a comp plan, right? Look at what we've achieved here, all of us, in the last 80 days. It's pretty remarkable. In the last 80 days, we turned on, 30 days into that, we turned on a whisper campaign. That whisper campaign became very loud. A couple weeks after that, we turned on the ability to run credit cards and bring in our first influencer pros. We allowed early vendors that wanted to get in there with us and test the process to start sending in paperwork. And we found a couple super vendors who were willing to give away thousands of dollars in free content. They went out there and shot videos. So when you look at where we were July 1st, which was a logo and a comp plan, and I think we may have released our first video. I think No, we didn't. We played our first video 3 weeks later. We didn't even have a video. It was just a logo and a comp plan. To where we're at now today, 80 days later, we now have a company that can take transactions. We can take affiliates. We can pay you. You've been paid 3 times. We now today will be able to bring on our first few customers. We've already got now today our first handful of vendors up as of today. And it is remarkable what can be achieved in less than 3 months. But I want you guys to understand, if I do this with a visual, that where this is at today and where this is at in 3 months. So if this was an idea right here, let's call this January 1st. There was nothing even available except a name come May. And then July, there was a logo and a comp plan. And then September 20th is today. So here we are today. By the time we get to, I'm going to go our target launch date, which is April 1st. By the time we get to April 1st, guys, this doesn't keep growing the same way. It starts growing like this. And the reason why it starts growing like this is because once all of the heavy lifting is done, there's nothing else to do but grow. And we are so damn close to having all of the heavy lifting done. What is left, when you really put it into perspective, what is left to get done for this thing to explode? I can think of a couple of things. Number one is reporting. So all of the reports that you need as a leader to run your business. So all the reporting. And number two is not digital onboarding for vendors. Well, sorry. Number one is reporting. So I'll put an R there. Number two is the finalization of your sales funnels. So I'll put SF, AKA your personal websites that you'll refer people to. And then number three is a digital automated, that's what I'm looking for, an automated process to onboard vendors. Those are the final 3 pieces. And I can tell you right here, these are in the works. These are in the works. This is just getting started because we had to master bringing on all of these vendors manually so that we could build the automated process. So I'm looking at this going 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and I'm looking at a company that in 3 weeks that is set to explode. Now, in 3 weeks, will we have this thing perfect? Hell no. By April of next year, when we launch, will we have this thing perfect? Absolutely, positively, yes. But I'm looking at July, if this is today, and this is by July 1st right here. We had a logo and a name and a comp plan. If this is where we were, and this is where we are today, what we have, this is probably, we had 20% done July 1st. I'd say today, as it stands, we're at 70%. When I say 70%, I don't mean 70% of the leaders, 70% of the salespeople, 70% of the vendors. It's not what I mean. I mean the technology, what we have to build. And I believe we're a month away from being at 90%. From there, we just got that last 10% to go. And if I'm off by a few data points and it's at 85% or whatever, so be it. But with as much pressure as specifically me, I put on Rod and the tech team and Rod's teams to say, look, this stuff has got to be done and ready and up. We've got groups, we got people, we got teams. The perspective of all of us on the line right now is correct because we want it now. And we want to build it now. And we want to sell it now. And we want to make money now. And we want to be successful now. But when you step back and you put it into perspective and you see where we've come from since July 1st with a name and a comp plan on paper, by the way, not coded, a comp plan on paper, a decided comp plan. And now we're 70% of the lift. I'm freaking thrilled. Like, I'm absolutely thrilled for what the team's able to achieve. And I just want to take a second to acknowledge our CEO, Rod Larson, for his 100-hour work weeks, for
Very kind.
putting up with all of our shit, for leading the teams, for our late call last night that had a bunch of colorful adjectives in it from my perspective. So, I just want to take a second to honor you, brother, because we're 4 weeks behind in the tech world. It is what it is. But in 1 year, is any of that stuff going to matter? Absolutely not. In 2 years, is anyone going to remember? Absolutely not. And I know that, and I also want to take a second to honor you and say thank you for everything you do, brother. And I'm proud to be partnering with you. Anything you want to share here before we really dive deep into the call?
Look, you always embarrass me like this. I'll throw it back to you. First of all, I love the fact that all of the people that are elbow deep, shoulder deep, hip deep, whatever you want to say in this process are putting the time in. On each of you, everyone that's here on this Zoom, they're doing it for you and with you and on your behalf and with full faith and trust in you and excitement for the future. I love the chart, actually, Nick. I love the fact that you diagrammed it like that. Every bit of that chart, even the fact that it was a white chart and it looked like we were in preschool again, I love the fact that you will go out there and throw the chart out and show people. And when I watched it, I think your assessment is spot on. We are at the point where it's almost like when you're in a car in a snowstorm or something, their wheels are kind of spinning. You got to slow down a second, let the traction grab, and then you can progress forward. We're at that point where the momentum is starting to pick up. As I look just across the screen at some of the panelists here, some of you have vendors that are going to be live on the store tonight, right? Others of you, I was on the phone today with vendors and our support team, getting them through the process to help them learn how to do it. If it's been a learning curve for us, it has been a learning curve for the vendors as well, because they look at it and say, oh, this is how we do it. This is what I do. This is what I put in. Very intuitive, but there's some new stuff for them. Now, when we get to the point, I'll pass it back to you in a second. When we get to the point where that 70% goes to 80%, then it's a self-guided tour. Then it is you intro a vendor to the process. They come into the platform. They're working on the platform, entering their information, publishing some products for us to review, working on the contract. Once that's live, we sign the contract, and then they start going live just like this. So love the analogy, love the whiteboard. Thought it was great. Thank you, and I appreciate everything that you're doing.
And you loved my adjectives last night.
Yes, they were fantastic.
They were awesome.
Fantastic.
Hey, Ron, brother, I'd be remiss to dive into a list of stuff to talk about without bringing our Chief Visionary Officer. Anything you want to share, partner, before we begin?
Yeah, thanks, Nick. And I would say the same about you, Nick, and Rod. It's been wonderful work. We never knew, the three of us didn't even know each other before this all began. We knew of each other, but how fun it's been to get to know each other in this context. But I will say this, sometimes we all have a propensity to say, well, this is what happened at my other company when we started up, and this is what happened here. This is, folks, there are no two processes that are exact. They're all different. So good leaders dominate the game. Great leaders dominate the process. They understand where the breakdowns are. They understand where the adversities are, the challenges are, because every company is going to have them. So look, if the vision is big enough, which clearly it is, we'll run through walls together, folks. We'll run through walls together. This is not for the faint of heart. This is for the people who really want to make it happen and create it. And looking at the screen, we have those people here. So I want to acknowledge those people who are on, who are just sitting here going, let's go, man. Let's go crush this. Let's go dominate the adversities. And with that, I'll turn the time over to you, folks. This is our own process, folks. We're creating it together.
Amen. So guys, I'm gonna go through a couple just random updates of just having my pulse on just different Q&As that have been popping up. And then we'll dive into some demos. We'll talk Q&A. We'll show you guys the most up-to-date version of your sales funnels that they're integrating currently. And then we'll wrap up. I'll probably open up at the end just for any questions that are out there. But what I'd like to do first is let's talk about the process of where we started with the early invite, early timestamps, right? Early invite, early timestamps, the original positioning in the community bonus. That obviously ended on, I think it was September 10th was the last date that you could be in that first wave of people. However, I think there was definitely a breakdown in, we can only share some, I share the information. I don't know where it goes or who it goes to, but the information was definitely available. And I want to make sure that it doesn't get lost in translation with where we're at today. If you were invited into this company, or if you have somebody that was invited into this company, prior to us ever enrolling anybody, you're one of the early invites, you still have a timestamp that has usefulness for your place in line. You still have a timestamp that has usefulness for your place in line. So if you have someone that has not upgraded yet, how it works is once we got the first group of people upgraded, oh, you threw me a slide. Let me explain first, and then we'll do all the stuff on the slide, please, if we can. Thank you, Stacy. I'll call for it in a second. Thanks. Sorry. So once we loaded everybody in, anyone that still had a timestamp early, if they upgraded the next week, they would be first in line for that week for the first available seats available at the concert. If they didn't do that week, well, they could do the next week. If they would upgrade in that second week, they would be the first in line. No? Okay. Third week, first in line. No? Okay. Fourth week. We are currently in the fourth week. Our weekly cycle, now I'm going to call for the slide. Thanks so much, Stace. Our weekly cycles, they run from Wednesday, not Wednesday midnight, that's an edit. They run from Wednesday, oh yeah, sorry, they do. Wednesday midnight to 11:59 Tuesday. They run from Wednesday midnight, which is the first time a day flips, right? So Wednesday 0000. For those of you guys that use military time, Wednesday 0000 until 11:59 p.m. the following Tuesday. That's a weekly cycle. And a person that's got one of those early timestamps, they can be in the front of the line each week if they'll just upgrade. However, we're coming onto our fourth week right now. Or excuse me, we're already in our fourth week right now. So if I were you guys, I would be going crazy upgrading those people that have those early timestamps, because yes, it's sad they missed the first wave, but why would you not just be front of the line of the second wave? Why would you not just be front of the line of wave 2? Why would you give up that right? So it's still there. It's still available. No, they do not go back into those original spots because that's all done. Those are all compressed. Okay. So all those spots, that all compressed out. But what it will say when it says, okay, it's time, we have a line, we got a bunch of upgrades for week 4. Who has the earliest invitation of all of the upgrades? Oh, we got a guy here from 5 weeks ago. Put him in the first spot. We got a lady here from 4.5 weeks ago. Put her in the second spot. We got another lady from 3.5 weeks ago. Put her in the third spot. A person who took the invitation this week and upgraded would go behind the people that took the invitation 1 week, 2 week, 3 week, 4 week, 5 week, or 6 weeks ago. So this is, by the way, how the business model works for the future. When you guys see the weekly, if you want to point this out on bullet point number 4, one more down, bullet point number 4. There we go. Weekly upgrades, that timer, that's a real timer, and it's working week to week. So when you see inside somebody's upgrade box or in your back office, that timer is accurate for weekly upgrades. Now, we have the right, after this Tuesday at 11:59, we have the right to delete all of the invitations that were before week 1, all of those early invitations, we have the right to delete all of those. That's how the business model works. I can tell you that the tech team has got other priorities. So they're probably not going to wake up on Wednesday and first thing run over to the machine to delete the early invitations. They've got much bigger fish to fry right now because you guys know I need reports, replicated websites, but I do need you to understand that you might wake up 2 days later, 6 days later, 12 days later, and the early group of invitations will be missing from your lead list. That's supposed to happen, and it's going to happen. Now, on the go forward, how the business will work when we're really running business as usual, what'll happen? In fact, let's do it right now. Let's go, Stace, take your time. We're going to go to somebody's invitation dashboard. The only way into our business, as it stands today, there's only one way in. It's the invitation dashboard. You send an invite. Person watches the video or they don't. They say yes to the invite. And then what do? It used to be you had to fumble around to send them a bunch of links. You didn't know what to say to them. You don't have to do that anymore. You just say, look, click the upgrade button, watch these 3 videos, and then enroll. And if you're not ready to enroll, I'll call you afterwards. You can ask me all your questions. Now, if I'm a leader, like if I got a team, if I'm a micro influencer 1 or above, I would be doing this every day. I'd have a standing Q&A call every night at, I'm making this up, 7 p.m. My team would be inviting all day long. People would watch the 3 videos. They'd show up at 6 o'clock. I'd do a 5 to 10 minute recap. I'd answer questions. We'd close. New influencer pro, new affiliate, new influencer pro. But the leaders, you guys got to lead. You got to lead top down. You have to be inviting. They have to be inviting. And each day, I bet you'd have 5 new people that joined your team. 3 affiliates, 1 influencer pro. Every day you'd have 5 new people. So this is the only way into the system. This is the only way to upgrade. And this is how the weekly cycles work. Tuesday at 11:59, weekly cycle is going to end. Your leads, AKA anybody that said yes to an invite, they're going to move into the next week. And that will happen for 4 straight weeks for a lead. And at the end of 4 weeks, they'll be deleted from the system and they can become a lead for somebody else. Okay, I want to open this back up. Actually, one last note. Right now, if a person wants to upgrade, you can go pull it down. If somebody wants to upgrade from affiliates to influencer or influencer pro, they have to email support@Shoply and ask to be upgraded. But sometime in the next couple business days, an affiliate will have live in their back office the ability to upgrade in their back office. You won't see it because you're already upgraded. But as soon as it's done, we'll do a quick little 60-second video. We'll release it on Telegram. And all of your affiliates, they can go there, they can click upgrade, and they'll be upgraded right from their back office. Okay, I'm going to shut up. We're going to open this up to some of the panel. Guys, talk about the invitation process, your upgrading process, your Q&A process. How are you still having people come aboard? How are you upgrading? How, blah, 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 blah. Over to you guys.
I'll kick off. Look, I think while Nick was just doing a bit of a recap of where we sit with the tech and everything, it's really important as leaders that we build the audience, because when we get the vendors live on the platform, what we want to create is case studies for vendors, and what we need is people on the platform using the platform. So vendors start saying, hey, we've got, we've just made 5 sales from this incredible platform. So how do we do that? We need the people on the platform. So I think it's really important in this phase, while Rod and that are doing incredible jobs, we as leaders, and we keep sharing the vision, and we keep saying, hey, this thing's going to move. It's going to move fast. You want to be on with us, or watch what happens. And I think, what Nick was just saying in terms of, you know, daily calls, weekly calls, bringing people on is a really, really important part of the process because we need people on the platform.
Yeah, so one thing, you guys, that I have used as a tactic, I guess, and I hate using the word tactic, but that's the only word that comes to my brain at the moment, is when you're talking to people from where they started as a pre-invite to where we finished before we started the upgrade process. The conversation with that gamut of people can be different, right? Because we had our upgrades already in, now they're locked. The people at the end of the invite system that were like, man, I'm at the end. I'm 100,000 people deep. Well, guess what? You aren't now. You have the opportunity to jump forward in the line if you upgrade now. Because not everyone has upgraded, we're on a weekly cycle. Get your money in, upgrade yourself. You're going to jump into the back of whatever that weekly cycle is based off of your timestamp, but you could jump in front of the slow Sallies that haven't upgraded yet and haven't gotten around to it. So the people in the back, I'm having that conversation with. The people in the front, hey, you were here early, you have an early timestamp, but guess what? If you don't upgrade this week, the people in the back, if they upgrade before you, they will jump in and lock their spots before you. So your early spot will start to move back if we don't get you moving. And so your conversation can be like changed based off of who you're talking to and the urgency you're trying to create with them.
One more.
Hey guys, if you can't understand me, sorry, it's late here. I've been having some fantastic conversations here in the UK with vendors because that's my thing with the e-commerce side. And more of them are now coming up and coming to me and saying, hey, can you tell me a bit more? I'm seeing the conversations online and I know you're part of that space. Can you tell me more about what it's all about? And that is going to happen more and more. And we haven't even got a site yet. The more you're out there talking about it and you are going to be the go-to person for your area, then you're in line for more vendors coming to you. Because let's face it, when this thing takes off, we don't have a business without vendors, without product, without a site for an e-commerce world. So the more you're getting your people to talk to the vendors, the better it's going to be for your business after this entire flurry of us all getting on board. We need vendors, we need customers, and we need the conversation out there. So go get talking.
All right, thank you so much. So guys, let me just kind of bookend this part with this. I feel, and some may disagree, but I feel we did an exceptional job since day one of saying, guys, we need pioneers that can handle the ugly. We need pioneers that can handle the broken. We need pioneers that can handle stuff not being ready, stuff not working. We need pioneers. It's in the presentation. It's in the slide deck. It actually even said pioneers only, please. Please, if you're not a pioneer, we're not ready for you. So I feel like we did a great job of preparing everybody that this was going to be a gigantic jungle that we were going to have to hack down. We're hacking down the jungle. Now, you hacked down the jungle. Now, here's two types of pioneers. Pioneer one hacks down the jungle, turns behind them and says, let's go. I've only got it hacked a third of the way, but start running behind me. Let's go. There's a second pioneer who gets a third into the way into the jungle and says, oh shit, this is a jungle. It's got snakes and spiders. And they freeze up and they say, I'm not going any further until Rod hacks the rest of the jungle perfectly all the way through until it's done. I'm not going to tell anyone about the path. I'm not going to tell anyone about what's on the other end of the jungle. I'm not going to talk about it, how beautiful it's going to be, how awesome it is. I'm not going to say a word. In fact, I'm going to sit here until the locals shoot me with an arrow or I get eaten by an alligator. And that's what happens, sadly, to most people in these situations, is they get excited for the first conversation, even the second, like, yeah, I'm one of them. I'm one of those pioneer people. And then when it's time to do pioneer stuff, the I'm not such a pioneer dialogue starts to come out. Now, I'm speaking this truth because I can only speak for myself. There's never been an event, a presentation, a Zoom, a video, anything where I didn't say in the beginning and the end, guys, we're not ready. This is going to take a while. This is going to be hard, and we need pioneers. So why am I saying this now? I'm saying this now because I have a gut feeling that some of y'all are frozen and you're freezing. You're saying, well, I got to wait until next April when it's perfect. Then I can go be a pioneer again. That's not a pioneer. And by the way, that's okay. That doesn't make you a bad person and someone else is better than you. Again, this is adoption. This is tech. We are here, right? But if you're really one of these people, or you're really one of these people, you're not a bad person. It's completely okay. But understand this tech adoption curve has to do with you as a buyer, buying a cell phone, joining TikTok, joining, some sort of app, downloading an app. Are you this person, or do you do it when everybody else does it, or because you have to? Well, we're not talking to you as a customer. We're talking to you as an entrepreneur. And you have to be very clear that the people here that see it through, that make it through, that lead a team will be in a better position financially than those who decide to join here. It's just math. In fact, it's literally how the community bonus operates. The community bonus says we need innovators, we will reward them. We need early adopters, we will reward them. Everybody else is going to make a ton of money too if they want, but there's a specific bonus designed to reward these people. So when it comes to this curve, I'm not talking about you're an innovator because you keep logging in and listening and watching. We're not looking for Shopley innovator spectators. That's not what we mean by an enthusiast. A Shopley enthusiast now is inviting, presenting, training, recruiting, developing, and doing that every single day. That's what our expectation is of a Shopley enthusiast today. So with that being said, let's show you guys, let me see if there's any questions. Okay, great job, Floyd. All right, let's talk about really quickly, let's do a quick visual on your websites that are being built right now. We have final designs. Obviously, you guys will see that there's testimonies here that aren't the real testimonies. These final designs will be your websites. People will log in. We're going to zoom in just a little bit more. Actually, the cell phone one's kind of cool. If you guys see the cell phone on the left. So somebody would see that, and they scroll down and then it would say influencer journey or vendor journey. We're going to zoom into this one real quick.
It's not letting me zoom in. I'm on my laptop. It says no way.
No problem. Okay, so imagine this on a web page, which would cut it off below, right above our stories, or maybe, right below the testimonies. Somebody can click influencer journey or vendor journey. Vendor journey will not be live. Correction. We're going to turn on the vendor journey live, but without presentations. And I'm explaining this in just a moment, because I'm very clear that there's a mixed message out there to you guys, and I want to make sure I clean it up. But for the sake of this conversation, they click influencer journey, boom. Once they click influencer journey, it's going to take them to video 1. What is Shopley? If they click ready to enroll, if they click need more info, it's going to take them to video number 2. At video number 2, they cannot go any further than enroll. When they click enroll, it's going to take them to an invitation page.
Hey, Nick, I think we adjusted this and there's actually 2 buttons at the bottom, but this design doesn't show that PDF change.
No problem. That's okay. Even if it's no matter what button they push, it's a little bit of a trap. If they click ready to enroll or need more info, it just takes them to the same page. So that page is here. You can't get more info, nor can you enroll without giving us this information. This should look familiar, this little box, because this is what you had to fill out when you, I'm sorry, this is what the person who invited you filled out when they invited you into our system. So now they're kind of inviting themselves. They put the information in, it's going to validate their cell phone number. At this point, when they click ready to enroll, it's going to make them a lead in your back office for 4 weekly cycles. They're now a lead for you. Pause right here. When these sites go live, the invitation process will go away. When these sites go live, the current invitation.shoply will go away. Until then, keep running it. Sorry, Stacey, I didn't mean to pull it down. I just meant to not go forward. Okay, once they put in their data, go backwards one slide. Once they put in their data, it's going to bring them to the upgrade site. That will only have 1 video instead of 3, and they can upgrade to affiliate, influencer, or influencer pro here. If they do not want to upgrade, they can click more information. It takes them to a long form website. Snapshot. If they still want more information, they'll get some frequently asked questions. Stace, for time's sake, I'm going to jump past the bot. And then lastly, guys, they'll then enroll. They'll go through their getting started training. They'll go and get into their dashboard. Okay, here's what that flow looks like from a visual. I know a lot of you guys have seen this before. I just wanted to give you updated imagery. Never mind. Don't worry about the schematic on it. No big deal. Okay, let's open this up. Before I talk about vendor stuff here in a second, let's take 2 panelists. Anything you guys want to share on future-based sales funnel?
You know, I think that success in network marketing looks like duplication. Duplication comes from simplicity. And one of the things that you guys have done is you have created such a simple, duplicatable process. And it's always the process that builds the value. All we have to do is we have to execute the playbook. It's very simple. You know, it really comes down to how many conversations are you having. Conversations lead to invitations at the end of the day. And right now you have action marketing and attraction marketing. And a lot of people love the attraction marketing, put out posts and hope that people come to them. But I'm going to tell you guys right now, the time for action marketing is here, right? There's these windows of opportunity that don't come along very often and they don't stay open very long. But when they're open, incredible things can happen. And right now, I think we need to remember and remind ourselves that we are in launch mode. In launch mode, there's a different level of intensity. There's a different level of focus. You know, we're seeing that. I mean, I want to thank all of you guys, you know, Nick and Ron and Rod. I mean, Rod, I know you've been working overtime to be able to help us get these vendors up, and I'm very grateful. So your level of intensity is up here, and our level of intensity needs to match with where you guys are right now. And I can tell you that the leaders that are on this call that are here with us tonight, and many of you that are out there, are doing an incredible job of running. But right now, the time is to go all in. And I can tell you that we really only have 4 main responsibilities, Nick. It's just to notify people of what we're up to, invite them to take a closer look, follow up, and collect decisions. That's it, right? Yeah. That is all we do. And I'm just gonna share this with you guys real quickly. So 10 a day, you guys have probably heard this, 10 a day keeps the checks on their way. I want you to just think about this for a moment. If you just did 10 invites a day for the next 5 days, you can have the weekends off, just 10 a day. That's 50 a week. For the next month, that's 200. Now, even if you are bad at this business, terrible at this business, 10% of those people are going to want to get involved in your business in some form or fashion. But here's the good news. It only takes about 10 to 20 hours of practice before you go from bad to relatively good. And when you go to good, now you're at 20%. You do that for 90 days, 60 to 90 days, you'll be on the leaderboard in this company. You do it for a year and you'll declare your financial freedom day, the day that you no longer have to trade time for dollars. You can do the things that you want to do rather than the things that you have to do. So I commend you guys for the systems that you've put in place, for the funnels that you put in place at this stage of the game, in beta, whatever we are, soft launch, we haven't even pre-launched yet, to have the tools and resources and quality of videos. Ron, excellent job. I got to just say my hat's off to you guys.
I'm pausing there. No reason to take a second person. Well, beautifully said, extremely beautifully said. So gang, you know, it's up to you to start inviting. It's up to you to put them through the sales funnel, put them through the videos, guys. We're going to keep building out the tech and get you those last 3 pieces. Remember, these are the last 3 pieces. The last 3 pieces look like, oh, no, it doesn't. Oh, yeah. These are the last 3 pieces. This beautiful handwriting. You're welcome. So number 1 is your reports. Number 2 is your sales funnels. I just showed you them. And then number 3 is automation on vendor enrollment. Talk to me. Is she here? Sorry, guys, I got a sick kid. Okay, thank you, love. So I'm sure many of you guys have got sick kids now that they're back to school. And I'm fighting one of my own children physically. No, wait, not physically. Don't quote me on that. Never mind. Let me start over. I'm not physically. Nick said he's fighting his kids physically. All right. So let's talk about the shift here into vendor side. So here's where the mixed message is, and I get it. I have intentionally not put out a video for vendors, put out a slide deck for vendors, or done a presentation for vendors, period. There's a reason why. Because we haven't been looking for vendors yet. We've been looking for vendors who want to launch their own affiliate channel, AKA they're one of us. We're looking for vendors who want to build a team, who are comfortable building a team, who are bought into our full vision, because they got to go through the jungle with us. We don't want you to ruin your best vendor contacts in the jungle. We're going to tell you when it's time, but if you, the first 200 people that we said, let's talk to them, we wanted them to be one of us so they could, they understand the jungle, they're okay with the jungle, we're good. So I want you guys to know the reason why you haven't been given vendor tools. It's not because I'm not sitting on them. It's because I don't want you going and getting a bunch of vendors and then you being let down or the vendor being annoyed, because we're not ready for all vendors yet. In fact, we're just now got our first full 10 vendors in products, SKUs, shipping, all the stuff. In the next week, we'll probably do a specific vendor call for course creators. Stay tuned. The week after that, I'm going to start doing group vendor presentations for you. You'll just put them on a Zoom, just like we did when I was doing presentations for everybody. I'm going to do the same thing for vendors. We'll bring vendors on for testimonies, etc. Now I'm going to transition here, but it's really critical that I have everybody's understanding and expectation about the next step. We're going to show you a 10 vendor or an 8 vendor version of Shoplay. We have the ability to bring on as many vendors who can get us their paperwork and want to go through the training process of a non-automated upload of their stuff, their shipping process, etc. That's not fun. It's not fun to do that as a vendor because we're not automated yet, right? So can we bring on 100 vendors tomorrow? Sure, but we're not automated. So it's ugly. It's a slow process. What you guys are going to see is not the final Shoplay.com website. It's not even close. In fact, the one that I demoed to you is a website that we can switch over to at any point that we have enough products and enough vendors uploaded. We have the ability to switch within dozens of very high level, high end, super sexy templates, because we're working with a $30 billion tech company that is the marketplace that we're leveraging, and we have a bunch of different options. So it's really important that you guys don't go, oh, that's it. I thought it was going to be the one they showed me. Guys, the one I showed you is the one when we have 300 vendors, 500 vendors. So we can switch the sites literally every 2 weeks. So don't stress. What we did is we picked the template. That was the best template to get you guys in, to be able to see, oh, okay, this is how it would work. This is how I would share. This is how I would buy. Rod, I'm gonna kick to you for any other thing you want to share before I just briefly go to the website, go to Shopee.com.
No, I think it's perfect, perfect transition into the discussion. The reality, frankly, is yes, we can change this template at any time we want. I actually listened to it and I thought, final website, when is there going to be a final website? The website will continue to evolve. We'll continue to get a new look and feel, a broader scope of vendors and digital vendors and content providers. Everything will continue to move and change. Just like when you go to some of the major vendors major sites that you would visit on a daily basis, the logo changes today for the season. The look and feel changes for a certain time of year for shopping. Those are always going to be things that we do. As an answer to a couple of questions, I'll just roundly say that I've seen on the Q&A, you will be able to see these vendors coming on. We will put vendors, I think the right thing for us to do is we get the 1, 2, 3 a day as we keep going forward. We will end up seeing, you'll see them in Telegram. Hey, new vendor coming out. And then your idea is going to be, I have brought this vendor. I have a responsibility because I talked to this vendor about helping them expand their sales, about helping them bring an affiliate channel. We need to stay focused on, I bring one, you bring one. We all work together to make our vendors successful. I've been blown away at just how much you guys have reached out and brought vendors. And today, I think I've been on the phone directly with 15 or 20 vendors, and we've got a pipeline of the same number plus that are almost to the door. Like 3 minutes before I got on this call, I was with a vendor saying, hey, we got to get a couple of your products updated just a little bit, get yourself all the way through the door. So I'm really excited about our step-by-step migration. One last thing I will say, people said, well, what does it mean for a soft launch now and a launch in April? Maybe as I push that back to you, Nick, we should just tell them kind of how this works. We go.
In tech, they call it beta. In network marketing, they call it pre-launch. So that's why you hear us talking back and forth between the two terms. For us, it means the same thing. We are in beta because this tech platform is not our 3.0. It's not the one where like, this is the one, y'all. If you guys went to Amazon.com when it went live, what did you see? Does anybody remember? Probably not, because none of you went.
Books and a pine tree logo.
You saw books. You saw some books. That's it. You saw some books and that's it. So that's what I want you guys to see today. We're launching our books division today. And next week, we're gonna double the amount of vendors. The week after that, we're gonna add another 10 vendors. The week after that, we're gonna keep adding vendors every single day. So you guys can go on your own if you want. We're live. This is a vendor-focused Shopee.com. So instead of going there and you're searching categories and you're searching products, we're just gonna list all the vendors that we're gonna approve on the front until these turn into categories. And then eventually they turn into product categories. So it'll just be find the vendor, then it turns into categories, then it turns into product categories. So I'm excited to say, as of this moment, a person can come make a purchase. We haven't loaded up any of our course creators yet. So the reason why is because that's a different path that we have to teach them. But once we teach all our course creators how to upload, they start popping in like popcorn. Rod, anything you want to share? Obviously, guys, you go in here, you click on Bo here. Bo has great imagery, great products. So he does anti-aging, cell renewal technology for hair, root treatment, finishing spray, formation technology. Now, I'm going to pause here for a moment. What does this look like when you have 100 vendors in your country? 1,000 vendors in your country. What does it look like when your customer can go through 100 different bows or 1,000 different bows in their country? Guys, it's going to take us a couple years to get there. But the people that are here, that build the team and bring the vendors, money will not, you're going to have a lot of issues. Money's not going to be one of them. Because those thousands of vendors are going to be brought by someone. Because Amazon went from books to hundreds of categories, thousands of vendors, and nobody got paid a vendor development bonus for that. Nobody's making a royalty off that. What does this look like when your team is bringing on vendors every week? You're getting them a victory. They're uploading their products. People are clicking and sharing and buying and saying, okay, I want to, I want to click into this one. I want to add it to my cart. I want to buy now. I want to look at different imageries, etc. Like, if you can't see that, that's okay. Just understand the people that we're looking for right now see that. I need Craig in Australia to say, okay, I see what this is going to look like. I'm going to have 100 supplement companies. I'm going to have 50 skincare companies or beauty companies, 20 cleaning supply companies, and on and on and on. Because once we automate, gang, once we automate the vendor onboarding process, you can't stop the machine. That's the only one of three pieces left to take us from 70% to 90%. Now, a couple of things that are super critical right now. In my opinion, we are not ready for customers from a promotional perspective. Can you get a customer right now? Yes, you can. Can you share right down here? Absolutely. Can you push this out the door immediately? You can. Would I in the next 10 days? I wouldn't. You don't have to. That's why we lowered the PQV requirements to $30 for the month of September. I would only get as a customer my mom, my brother. I would not push this hardcore out in social media yet. There's no reason to do it. I would only test it out, go get a couple customers with mom, brother, cousin, neighbor, whoever it is that you feel comfortable with, that you want to go out there and test out your customer acquisition process with. Because you don't need the PQV in September. But I do want everybody to go get, their first customer. I do want everyone to maybe find something they like, for themselves. I'm going to stop here. Let's bring on Ron and Rod and anyone from panel.
Nick, I think if you go back to, just off the top of my head, choose a Boast de Gaulle product. You should be able to see. Yeah, I'll have you drive because you're still on it, or maybe it's Stacy. Go click on the shop again. Go up to, just because I know that it's there for now. Go look at Boast de Gaulle product real quick, any one of them, and let's make sure you understand for the current time where you're going to see the direct bonus, the CV, the qualifications. Scroll down.
Yeah. Do you want to announce that now, or do you want to get through? We can announce it now. You want to announce it now? Let's go for it. Okay.
These will be getting updated. Most of them are updated already. Just click on one, right?
Yep.
So as you're bringing your friends and family on, scroll up.
Nice.
Right there. This is where you'll see it right now. So this will be during this transition phase. There'll be a combination of showing it like this, perhaps some information on the Telegram channel, perhaps a document, until we get a few more things automated. That's where you'll note where you spend your time and effort. The same thing will be true on every one of the products that come up before we're done here. I think by the end of the night. So
thank you, buddy. So guys, thank you, Rob, for pointing that out. So gang, if you're wondering, what do I get paid if I buy or sell this? You'd make we removed the dollars because right now customers can see this. So I said, don't put anything on there that is a dollar amount, because I don't want customers to think, okay, that's a commission or whatever. But that 5 is a $5 direct bonus. That 12 is a 12 CV that would go into the marketplace commission. That 22 is for your qualification volume. So each product will have one of these. Now, if your customer says, what does this mean? You just say, well, that's 22 Quaker vapes, 5 defensive backs, and 12, I don't know, man. Just make up something cool for them. No, just tell them it's internal data. Rod, anything you want to talk about? To me, this is a historic night for you, brother, because your vision before I met you with Terry Liqueur is as whether it's the first 8 bookstores on Amazon or not, your vision is officially live. Anything you want to share?
The list of people that have been running hard on this, on the tech side, on the corporate team, on every support squad that we've got, I would miss somebody, so I won't share that. But I really want to deflect back to everybody who's on this Zoom. This is here because of you. Every one of these vendors is tied to one of you. Every one of the vendors that comes on next week is tied to one of you. As we progress and move forward, everything we do is crowdsourced through you. You deserve the kudos. We're just here to build the engine for you, make it happen. And, don't get eaten by the alligators along the pioneer path. Let's go. We're just about to the point where the 70% gets 80%, gets 90%. And then there's nobody to look back. Nobody's going to come back and grab someone who won't hack through the forest. It's got to go. Back to you.
Ron.
Yeah, this is historic right here. We're witnessing kind of like the speedboat, like Rod just said, we're building the engine. It's like getting in this world-class speedboat. It's never been seen before, but we're paddling with paddles right now because it's not automated yet, but we get to sit in it, we get to splash around, we get to feel it, we get to know what the future looks like. But to see all these come together this way, the convergence of influencers and affiliates and vendors coming together the way they are right now, to witness it right now, just looking at that, I'm thinking, man, we could build a business with the products we just now saw, much less adding more internationally, which we're working on doing right now. So I was on a vendor call today, excuse me, and it was so exciting I couldn't even think straight after it was done. So I'm very excited about this, guys. You guys get to witness it. You guys are creating it. Like I said, we create our own processes here. We create our own history together. It will always be unique to us. So thank you.
Someone screenshot this because these 8 are going to go down. I think I'm starting to play this out like 2-3 years from now. And we're standing on the stage. There's thousands of people there. And we're like, guys, we started with these 8. There's Bo sitting there all happy and shit. Like, guys, this is like, we started with these 8. Because the next time you see the site, it's going to have 10 and then 12. And then it will never, ever, ever be this small again. In the next 30 days, it jumps to 30. And then it jumps to 100, and then it jumps to 200. And then in April, when we're ready to launch, we'll have several hundred vendors, multiple categories, digital, et cetera, et cetera. We'll probably be ready for certain services. Understand the vision, be a part of it, create the history with us. Like, it's there. Anybody from the panel here?
I mean, we have 2.5 million vendors on Amazon, growing by about 3,500 every month, or nearly every day. So we have 8. This is like crazy exciting. I mean, this is something that motivates me so deeply in my heart, in my soul, with everything that we can accomplish in the next years and bringing this power to everyone out there. So thank you so much.
And I'm going to add right there, Michael, thank you. You just said something very strong. What if Amazon would have started out with vendor developers? What if they would have had a finder for every product online? So you guys can see that we're stepping in one up. Let's go, man. Let's go.
They don't even know about Shoply, all those vendors.
I hope not. Well,
let's talk a little bit about vendors here in the Go Forward. So we have a pipeline of vendors that we're now starting to push through. Rod's saying, hey, Nick, we'll probably get 1 to 2 now approved. Every day we'll have a new vendor-ish. So let's plan on, guys, 5 to 10 new vendors a week for the next week or 2. And then that should increase as our ability to automate increases. And then when we go live, when we say, okay, we are ready to bring in vendors, you're going to have a full sales funnel for vendors. You'll have websites, you'll have videos, you'll have presentations. They'll come in, they'll enter the information. They'll swipe their card, their money will get held while they get approved. If they don't get approved, they get their money back. If they do get approved, we then commission out on it, we move forward. So this is what the next 30 days is going to look like for all of you guys. So what you want to be focused on right now in these next 10 days is expanding your team. Obviously, if you're an affiliate, just learn some things. If you're an affiliate, just continue to learn some things. Also, I forgot to share this, and let me create context as well. This has been said many times, but again, sometimes information doesn't pass. Shopley U, or Shopley University, is a dynamic university. We will add new courses every week to 2 weeks. We don't want to just jam in a bunch of everybody into our super vendor status. So we're going to give you guys access to the first 60 videos. All you have to do is go to Shopley and log in, and you'll see at the top of the screen, the first 60 videos are available. Ron, give me a heads up or give me a thumbs up that we're on the website.
Yeah.
Thank you. You just click Shopley U.
Let me check and
When
see.
you click Shopley U, you'll have to log in.
You understand why you log in, Nick? You log in because some of these are for influencer pros, some of them are for influencers, some are for affiliates. And so the ones
Is
that
attribution set already? We're good?
yeah, so when you
Okay.
log in, that gives you the permissions to see the stuff you're qualified to see, which will expand over time.
So I saw somebody say an anonymous a minute ago, I don't know how to sell on social media. Great. You can come here. You can start watching your courses here. You got some of you guys can, if you're an affiliate, you're only going to get a few courses. If you're an influencer pro, you get a few more. If you're an influencer pro, you get access to everything. But we currently have our next 50 to 100 videos already being shot, edited, and will be uploaded in the next 14 days. So what I want you guys to have the vision on is that you become so successful in our business and you bring so much value to our culture. It's not just success, but it's also you bring value to the culture, that you get selected as a course creator to teach belief or team building or entrepreneurship. Because I want you guys to know that's all a path here as well. Let's take one or two from the team here.
Yeah, look, I always just look at the value proposition of what we have for a business opportunity. Like you think about, you showcase the funnels earlier. I'm a digital marketer and I've invested thousands of dollars to build systems to drive to my network marketing opportunity in the past, like, 10,000 per funnel. And then, you've got to put people through the funnel, and this has all been automated. We've got the university over here. We have this global platform. We have the ability to have 3 or 4 opportunities in one. This is an exciting, unique opportunity. And we mentioned we have used context around Amazon and all that in the past. They all, when you read their stories, the Ray Dalios of the world, the Apples, they have a garage story where they first started in the garage. We are in the garage, but we're all in our homes building a business at the moment. It's really exciting times. And as Nick said, we really need to fill your teams, and whether it's affiliates, influencer pros, influencers, we've got to fill the teams. And in the next 10 days, really surprise our vendors with phenomenal sales on the platform.
One more.
This is more of a housekeeping thing, guys. Just so for anyone in EU or other regions, we are working on getting language support on there as well for all the Shopley use. So when you actually are on the specific video, you'll see a button at the bottom. When it's enabled, it says CC, and you'll be able to toggle different languages. Just so you guys are aware, it's a manual process right now. So we have to transcribe every video, upload a transcript of that in the new language to enable closed captioning, because the technology is not automatic. So it is in the works and it is being done. So it will be enabled for all of your people that are outside of the US.
Okay, thank you so much. Stace, what are open topics besides Dallas? I want to talk about Dallas. What are open topics right now? I know I jumped around a lot, but I think I may have nailed everything.
You skipped the pay cycles slide if you wanted to talk
Okay,
about that.
let's pull it up. Sorry. So guys, let's talk pay cycles. That was supposed to be when I was talking about the week-to-week stuff. I got carried away. So here's how pay cycles work in case anybody is unaware. You're going to see that we changed 2 things to benefit you guys. It's not a bad, it's a good. And I'll explain now. I mean, it's going to be different than what you read in the compensation plan. Okay, so weekly. Your weekly licenses bonuses go Wednesday to Tuesday, and they're paid the next Thursday. Your community bonuses, the 1st through the 15th is paid on the 25th. Your 16th through the end of the month is paid on the 10th. This is a change. We wanted to create standard dates so you could build your life around standard dates as opposed to Thursdays that are bouncing all over the place. So those are just locked dates. You now know your community bonus comes on the 25th and the 10th. And then this is also locking you to the 10th. So your marketplace commission check and your vendor development bonus, do not expect one of these on the 10th. Nobody's got a customer yet, except for the test customers that we got. There's going to be, nobody should expect a check or a significant one for your monthly marketplace commission check on the 10th. And then we pay the global pool marketplace annually. But I wanted to make sure I shouted out these 2 dates, the 10th and the 25th. So every Thursday, if you're bringing in, a new license, and then 10th and the 25th for your 3 big ones, 10th and the 25th. Anything to add or any questions there from the panel? All right, I want to talk about Dallas. So Dallas is official. These are official dates. I want to make sure that everybody leans into this who wants to. It is a room that only holds 300 people. There is no way around this. There's no changing this. We're doing a small event on purpose, and then we're going to live stream that event to everybody who doesn't want to come or can't come. We're going to allow for the first 300. We're going to send this out to a certain rank here. I'm gonna look in the next couple days. I've been buying some time. I can't tell you what rank or status yet because I got to see how many are at each status. I'm going to pick a status. We're going to send you an invite for U+1. And within a couple days, we're going to see who RSVPs and who doesn't. If it doesn't fill up the 300, we'll open it up to a lower status and a lower status and a lower status until we have all 300 filled. It's really only 150 people plus one, right? So it's not like that's a big number, right? Now, the +1 does not have to be your spouse. We're just going to give everybody that's in the top 150, U+1. You can pick anyone in your team to come with you, or your spouse, significant other, prospect. You choose. You're our top 150 builders. So after I send the email to the top 150 builders, I'll wait 72 hours for responses. Then I'll add the next 50 until it hits 300. So we're going to do a Thursday, which is, Stace, feel free to pull up the slide on that. We're going to do a Thursday, which is going to be all tours during the day. And then Thursday night, we'll do an opening kickoff event. Friday, we'll go all day on Friday. So this is the 24th to the 26th. And then on Saturday, we're going to do more workshop type training for anybody that wants to do the workshop type training stuff on the Saturday. So the event will start on Thursday night and will go through Saturday afternoon. The tours will only be on Thursday. So if you want to see the core ecosystem, that will go down on that Thursday. Ron or Rod, anything to add from there or panel?
I'm good. Love it.
Guys, I'm going to go to Q&A in a second, but first we're going to close. So I would like to have, if I can hear from 2 or 3 of the panelists, closing thought from Ron or Rod, and then I'll give a closing thought, open up to anyone that wants to stay on for questions. I'll stay with you guys for a good half hour to answer any and all questions that are still out there.
I'll go ahead. First of all, I know we're talking about pioneers, and the new word that I've been saying a lot lately is becoming that visionary. And I know it's something that Ron says a lot, and that's what we're doing. We have to set that vision of what's to come, right? And what the expectations are. And they've been very clear on, we're at a beta launch. So when you're talking to them, let them know, we're so excited. You get to help us make this great. Because when they feel like they're a part of making it better, making it greater, they take ownership. So, you know, keep it up, because I love everything that's coming out, and just knowing that Shopley cares so much, they want to get it right. Shopley cares so much about each and everyone getting what they deserve, from affiliates to influencers, pros, vendors. They want it right. So I love that. I love the full transparency, and just keep that vision, y'all. Most of us are pioneers here. We accept it. We wear the badge. Now it's time to put the blinders on and be that visionary. And that's been my new word. And that's just been carrying everybody else. I'm like, you have to have the vision. Show them where they're going. Show them what's at the end of that tunnel, because it's going to be huge.
One more.
I think that I would ask everybody a question that's on this Zoom tonight. How many of you know somebody that's going to go to bed tonight saying a prayer asking for financial solutions? Drop an I in the comments section. If you know somebody that'll go to bed tonight saying a prayer asking for financial solutions. The world that we're living in, it's such an interesting time, and we're all feeling the effects of inflation. There isn't one person that every single one of you knows somebody that went to bed last night praying for a miracle or a solution to some of the challenges that they're experiencing financially. And you have the ability to be able to make a difference in their life by reaching out to them. Now more than ever before in the history of our economy, people are looking for solutions. You have the golden goose. So my advice to you is to act like it. You're not calling somebody trying to sell them or convince them to do anything. You're calling them to open up new doors and new opportunities and new possibilities. And I can tell you this, there's nothing more expensive than a missed opportunity. So don't miss this. I hope that you guys understand what you have in your hands and what timing that we have to be here in the beginning stages. So back to you, Nick.
All right. Well, closing thoughts from you, Rod, or Ron, if you're still on. Love to hear from you guys as we wrap up here.
Well, listen, I'll give you a couple of thoughts. I'm a fan of history. Somebody was the first navigator of a ship to take the ship around the entire world. Somebody was the first navigator to find oceans that nobody knew existed. Somebody was the first pilot to go above the speed of sound. Somebody was the first to do every major milestone in life. Somebody was the first. Everybody else got to follow and get slightly easier path. The most valuable thing in the world in the 1400s, when the first company expanded with a stock certificate, the very first one, the most valuable thing in the world was the guidebook that the pilots of those boats had. That was their closest possession. They carried it in their coats. They wouldn't tell anybody the secrets because they were the first. You have the chance to share it and make other people become the first in their country, in their region, in their world, in your group, a first vendor. That's where you stand right now at this moment in time. And the door is 70% kicked open and will be absolutely kicked open as we go forward between now and the end of the year. I love that picture. Let me see.
I'm going to end with that tonight, brother. You
Love it.
nailed it. Nothing else to share. Guys, this is the first human being to run a 4-minute mile. Nobody could do it. It's impossible. A human being would die before they could run a 4-minute mile. Roger proved them wrong, and since then, several thousand people have done it. We will do it. We need you to be our Roger and Regina Bannisters. We need you guys to be the ones that step out and be the first ones. What does this say? Pioneering? Pioneering. I didn't even see that. It says pioneering. Roger Bannister, pioneering. I didn't even know he was a neurologist. I just saw this. World champion runner. We need you to be a pioneering world champion runner. I don't need you to be a brain surgeon. I just need you to run your ass off. Okay, guys, thank you so much for tonight. I'm going to stay on for Q&A and more updates to come, more launches to come, more rollouts to come. Thanks for your time, everybody.
Thank you all.
Okay, hit me with the Q&A in here.
Thank you.
Actually, Rod, this is a good one from Arlie. She saw that the commission scale was at 20%, at 12%, not 20 on one of the products. So we may not have the 20 base set on there. Great catch, Arlie. Thank you. That's why we do this. That's why we do beta. That's why we do slow releases. So it should be $8.80 should be the minimum commission on a direct bonus, or the maximum commission, sorry, minimum on the CV, one or the other.
Yeah, let's remember that every vendor sets their price point, every vendor sets their commission level, and the minimum of their commissionable dollars, the commissionable Salesforce dollars that they set, that goes to somebody who makes a direct bonus is 20%.
Arlie,
So-
can you drop the link here? We're just gonna double check your math. If, I'll trust that you did the math, that it's less than $8.88 or 80 cents on it. So just drop us the link. We'll check it. Thank you. Is the shopping site available yet? If so, how to access? Go to shoply.com. We just did an entire call on that. When will Dallas invites been sent out? John, I'm gonna send them out probably Tuesday. How many vendors can an individual bring? Dennis, when it's go time, you can bring as many vendors as you want. Just remember, if you don't onboard them correctly and make sure they get a victory, then you might not get the result, that you want from the bringing on all the vendors and not, getting the result you want. Them not getting the result they want. Shall we eventually have an option for shipping, such as spend a certain amount? Go ahead, Rod, you want to take this?
That's an Amazon Prime type concept.
Yeah.
We would love to have it, but remembering the fact, and I think we will. So let's just leave it there. I think the answer is yes to that, but it's not today. And when that happens, if you consider Amazon Prime did not launch until 20 years after they got going, the FBA process for Amazon didn't launch until 22 years, I think, after they got going. They started with 2 employees. Now they got 12,000 developers. That's the immigration path. The good news is that now time has compressed. Now we can do that much faster than companies did that back at the turn of 2000 or so. So that's where we're at. I think that the upside is, yes, we'll be able to do that. Now making that work on an international basis is going to be a little bit more challenging. Even Amazon doesn't do it on an international basis.
Sharita, we don't want you talking to vendors either. Again, I feel like I say this stuff over and over again. We just had a whole 10 minutes on this. Guys, when we want you talking to vendors who are not team building vendors, you're going to have websites, you're going to have pitch decks, you're going to have videos, you're going to be fully equipped, just like you are currently right now, to talk to team builders. We're purposely not equipping you because we don't want you out there talking to a bunch of vendors who are not super knowledgeable on our business model and ready to go through the jungle with us.
All right, Latika White, we did cover today where you can see amounts for direct bonuses, CV, etc., on each vendor's product. Over time, that will be restricted and made so that you can only see it as an affiliate for what applies to you as an affiliate, or to an influencer what applies to you as an influencer or pro. So that will be up and live with it as it goes. Right now, it's, as Nick said earlier today, it's get through the store, understand the store, look at it, start to maybe work with your close friends and family to see how it works. And then as you go forward, more information will be seen in various ways based on your when you log in as influencer pro, affiliate, or customer, right?
Is it better for my spouse to shop as a customer or under my site as me? Oh, defer to you on that. I mean, if you want them to count towards one of your customers, go for it. Yeah. Where on the site will vendor payout amount be located for each product? We highlighted it when we showed you. It's in the upper right. Just look underneath the description of the product, and it shows QV, CV, and DB. Is the shopping site available yet? Yep, it's available. That's what the call was about today. Any other questions? Can affiliates bring on other affiliates? No, those are influencer and influencer pros. If an affiliate wants to bring on other affiliates, they need to upgrade. Oh, dang it. No, what did I just do?
A question here about whether or not I've been in contact with a vendor that somewhere in the flow has been brought on by an influencer pro as a beta vendor option. Yes, I or my team may have been in contact directly with them to help them along the process. Won't go into stats again tonight. We've done that on plenty of calls. The reality is we're going to refresh a couple of processes to make it so that those who have not replied get re-engaged on your behalf to start their process to submit some basic information and then the documents necessary to get through KYC. Let's call this a precursor to the automated path that Nick and Ron and I are working through with all of the tech teams internally.
Anju said, if I joined as an influencer pro, can I bring in a network marketing company? You can bring in a network marketing company if they're willing to be a vendor, but you have to have the owners, the management, the executive team has got to say yes. It can't be a distributor. Only influencers can bring other people on the platform. Yes, correct.
The question of whether or not we should wait to shop until the bonuses are correct. The bonuses are correct. Let's understand that every vendor sets their bonus price, their commission dollars. We don't set that. We act as a SaaS, a software as a service platform for them and for you. They set their commission. We simply gather it and deliver it for them. So some of those products, some of the vendors that come on, those will be, let's call it, Nick, maybe you can come up with a better word for this little discussion here, but replacement purchases, right? Some of them will be absolutely qualifying purchases or anchor purchases that you want to make sure you focus on as a team. And some of them will be replacement purchases, meaning they will not commission the same amount as an anchor on a statistical or a percentage basis because the vendor chooses not to. So everything that the vendor chooses to do, you will see on the site based on your login type.
If there's a question back to me, I was reading, so I missed it. So I've got to defer to you.
I think replacement purchases are certain products like, if I have something.
You're talking about monthly delivery? Yeah.
Monthly to delivery, or even a product that, hey, I can go down to the grocery store on it, but I won't get commission and neither will my team. And if somebody does it, they won't get it. That's a replacement purchase. I think there's a little bit of a difference between a replacement purchase, perhaps, and a full-on anchor product purchase. So you just need to become familiar. That's one of the reasons why you want to take your time in choosing a vendor, right? You want to choose a vendor that you're going to be tied to that has a product that is both compelling as a product and also as a commission basis. I think that's important. There is a time coming when it's all automated. You should just push every vendor through an invite and let it happen as they can, right? But now,
what's the pay cycle to a vendor? Sarah's asked this like 3 times in here, so she's going to keep asking. We got to get this answered.
Now the vendor process is they submit the product. Once the product is up and live and we start selling it.
Not process, pay cycle.
Yeah, when they start selling it, we will hold the commissions until we know it's been received, pay the commissions, pay the vendor back their product. Outside is 20 days, I think, is the general.
So upon delivery, we
Amazon, Amazon and many of the others, if they have a commission at all for an affiliate or whatever, it can be 45 to 60 days. We want to compress that for you and for them.
How will returns be handled? Will you lose your commission? Yes, of course. Otherwise, people would just fraudulently buy 1,000 items, return them all, and keep the commission. Yes, if the product gets returned, the commission gets returned. Are the products on Shopee.com available for purchase right now? Yes, they are available. When a vendor offers existing customers the chance to become an affiliate, does their own customer have to pay? Yes, if they want them to be an affiliate, they would pay for the affiliate fee.
Remember, they're not just selling that company's products or that vendor.
Selling all of them. Yeah.
Now they have access to be a promoter on every product. There's a value to that.
Is the store connected to your back office? No, you just go to Shopee.com and log in. So I don't know if you're saying the term correctly. It's not connected to your back office, but it's connected to your login.
And commissions are connected to your back office. They will go in your back office, right? Commissions, direct bonuses, everything else.
Marlene, monthly subscription will be charged on your 30-day anniversary of when you signed up as an influencer or influencer pro, and it will charge the existing card on file. If you'd like to change the card on file, you can change the card on file.
All right, Anonymous, would love to meet you. Here's the couple of questions that you've asked here. Will there be one shopping cart, or does each vendor have their own checkout? One of the beautiful things about our tech, some of the specialty things that we do, is we have a multi-vendor platform. So you could be in there buying one product from one vendor, one product from another vendor, one digital course from a digital vendor. All of that can happen in one purchase, and all of the data flows every different direction. One cart, multiple vendors.
Okay, that's my time, guys, for tonight. Stay tuned. We will continue to push out the information and here's many vendors. Okay, so I would say to Chow, I would connect him to your leader and let your leader start talking to him until we're ready to have a big conversation like that. Guys, have a great weekend. We appreciate all you. Great night tonight. Thanks, everybody.